From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Jenkins, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 Podcast for Tuesday, June 3rd. We begin on the near north side, where police confirm one woman is dead and a man is in the hospital following a shooting at the Dorchester Apartments. It happened just after 4 this morning. That's when police were called to the apartments at 37th and North Pennsylvania Streets. IMPD says a woman who had been shot was pronounced dead inside an apartment, while a man was taken to the hospital in serious condition. Investigators say they believe the shooting stemmed from a domestic dispute, prompting this plea from a police spokesperson.
We encourage anyone to reach out if you know someone or if you're a victim of domestic violence. It's one of the most serious crimes or runs that police officers take.
Officer Young says a suspect is not yet in custody. Meanwhile, on the near northeast side, a man is in the hospital after a shooting at another apartment complex. IMPD says it happened just before 2:15 this morning on Edgemere Court. That's near 42nd and Meadows Drive. Police say the victim was stable when he was taken to the hospital. Investigators say, based on shell casings found by detectives, they believe the shooting took place over a wide area. Authorities confirm at least one apartment and a car were also hit by bullets. If you have information on either of these incidents, you are encouraged to call IMPD or Crime Stoppers. Well, this morning, Mayor Joe Hogsett is responding after another city-county council member called on him to step down. Democratic Council member Andy Nielsen says the mayor showed what he called poor leadership in how he handled allegations of sexual misconduct against his former top aide, Thomas Cook. As News 8 first reported last year, 3 women who worked under Cook accused him of sexual harassment and assault over the years. A report released last week from a law firm did not show Hogsett broke the law, but it did confirm that Cook was allowed to remain in his position as Hogsett's chief of staff for 68 days back in 2020, even after Human Resources found that he violated city policy. Nielsen is the second Democrat on the council to call for the mayor's resignation. Jesse Brown did so last year after the allegations against Cook went public. Yesterday, the mayor did not address calls for his resignation. He said in a statement that his Office of Corporation Counsel would look into what would legally need to be done to implement the recommendations put forth by the council's law firm. You can find Nielsen's full letter and Hogsett's response on wishtv.com. A special prosecutor has announced charges against a Republican state senator in a drug driving incident that had been kept from the public since January due to legislative immunity laws. Our news-gathering partners at Indiana Capitol Chronicle say Senator Mike Bohachik was stopped by police back on January 24th in Michigan City. Police say a blood test showed Bohachik had a blood alcohol level of 0.28. That's more than 3 times the legal limit. Police could not arrest Bohachik at the time because members of the legislature are shielded from arrest in most cases during a legislative session. A former Brownsburg child care worker already charged with child molestation is facing additional charges. Gabriel Garner appeared in court yesterday. Prosecutors say he now faces a total of 48 charges after additional alleged victims came forward. An attorney for the victim's family says she expects even more charges to come.
The families are continuing to struggle as this moves forward. Every new week we're learning something new about the extent of what he was doing, about the extent of how much pornography he was actually taking, and how many pictures truly exist.
The daycare where Garner worked has since closed. Owner Nancy Milton and manager Jennifer Lingbeck are both facing charges of obstruction of justice, neglect of a dependent, and failure to make a report. Let's talk sports. The Indiana Pacers are just 2 days away from their first NBA Finals game in 25 years. Back in 2000, they made it to the finals by beating the Knicks. Now, the Oklahoma City Thunder is the only thing standing between the Pacers and their first NBA championship. Head coach Rick Carlisle has made 6 NBA Finals appearances as a player, assistant coach, and head coach.
You know, when you get to this point of the season, you know, it's 2 teams and it's one goal. And so we understand the magnitude of the opponent. Oklahoma City has been dominant all year long.
The Pacers take on the Thunder in Game 1 of the Finals on Thursday. News 8's Anthony Calhoun and Andrew Chernoff will be in Oklahoma reporting throughout the series starting Wednesday on Wish TV. As for the Fever, Caitlin Clark has some company on the injury report list ahead of tonight's game. Guards Sydney Colson and Sophie Cunningham left Friday's game against the Connecticut Sun because of injuries. Colson hurt her left leg in the first quarter, and Cunningham re-injured her right ankle in the fourth quarter of the Fever's 2-point loss to the Sun. It is unclear if either will play in tonight's game as the Fever host the Mystics. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock. When it comes to the weather, Storm Track 8 says we are in for warm and humid conditions today. Meteorologist Marcus Bailey has your News 8 Daily 8 forecast.
Humidity's not bad now, so it's actually pretty comfortable, but I think that's going to change. This is going to kind of, for the first time in a while, we're talking about that combo of heat and humidity, what you would typically get in June, right? We just haven't had much of that to speak of here. It's going to have that summer feel and look for sure. 62 degrees right now. Southeast wind at 5. The number that we'll watch here in terms of that comfort value, it's the dew point number, the measurement of moisture in the air. 60 is your threshold. So if you're below that, you're fine. You're dry. You're comfortable. It's when you see this number go above 60, that's when things start to feel a little more uncomfortable, which I think we get there later on today. Low to mid 60s across much of our state. Again, this is better than 10 to 12 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago. 57 right now, one of the cooler spots in Columbus. Satellite and radar, we are quiet. High pressure still grabbing hold, even though it's almost over the Atlantic right now. But still big influence and keeping the clouds at bay for now. We'll probably see a few thin clouds work through the area. But all of that rain that you see out to the west, that stays away. It's a slow-moving system. It will impact us eventually, but probably not until later tomorrow. Humidity tracker here again over the next couple of hours, not bad. We're still in that pleasant or comfortable range through around 10 or 11 o'clock. From lunchtime on, you see it tick up just a little bit here into that uncomfortable range, just above that 60-degree threshold, and that's when things get a little gummy. 25 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts out of the south may help kind of ease that a little bit throughout the day. Just be aware of that. 83 at noon. We'll go with a high of 87 this afternoon, well above average. We got storm chances sliding in here as early as tomorrow. Several opportunities for the second half of the week. We'll break it down in my Storm Track 8 forecast coming your way in just a few minutes.
To get a peek at Marcus Bailey's full forecast, just head over to wishtv.com, or you can download the Wish TV Storm Track 8 app. And don't forget to check out our Storm Track 8 weather blogs. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 podcast for Tuesday, June 3rd. I'm Jeremy Jenkins for Wish TV and wishtv.com.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.